Hello, Gareth here, and in this watercolor lesson we're going to paint a tram. And I think this might be the first time I've painted a tram, but I really like them, and we're going to paint what I think is a fairly old Japanese tram. I really like the shape of this particular tram. The modern ones just don't seem to be quite so interesting. But anyway, I took this photo in a place called Matsuyama, which is a Japanese city in a prefecture called Ehime on the island of Shikoku. So Japan has 4 big islands, and Shikoku is the smallest one, I think, of the 4 big islands. So I went there this summer. I had a really good time. It was intensely hot though, but I stayed in this city for two nights maybe, and one of those evenings when I was there, I saw this amazing scene. Anyway, I've talked enough. Let's get on with the painting. Okay, let's begin. So first, I'm going to do my drawing with my technical pencil, and this is a very difficult drawing. So I think you should always be a little bit hesitant before you make your first mark, because that kind of determines, well, that determines the whole picture. So I'm taking my time and looking very carefully and just thinking about basically the overall shapes and the size of them. So I think maybe I'm going to put the tram about here. So it really, really is important not to rush this. And also, even with these first few marks, to be very willing to erase it all. Don't be precious about it. Even if it looks good. Because if your composition is bad, then it doesn't matter how good you paint it, it's not going to be a good picture. But I must admit, even I find it difficult sometimes to erase my drawing if I like it a lot, even though I've done it wrong, I've done it too big or too small. And I've become like precious about it, and I don't want to get rid of it. But it's best not to get too precious about it. Yep, so this is advanced level, and it's advanced level basically because of this drawing bit. Because I think this drawing bit is quite difficult. I don't know why it is, but, well, I sort of know why it is, but the older trams look a lot more beautiful. They've just got a lot more features and they're a bit more organic in shape. The more modern trams are just these rather boring, almost like box shaped things, whereas these older trams, they have like this curved roof, and the truth is it makes a big difference. It makes me wonder sometimes, like, where we're going in the future. And maybe I'm being a bit doom and gloom there, but I'm not saying the past is necessarily better, but no, I don't think I'm saying that at all, but just sometimes the style of things in the past just looks so much better. Anyway, with these trams, the old trams really look much better. They've just got these curves and they've got just interesting features that make them a really good subject for a painting. Okay, this is the underside and I'm simplifying it a lot. Yeah. Okay, and then we've got quite a sharp angle there compared to this one. So that's quite difficult to get right. The angles are very difficult in this picture. And if you get the angles wrong in this picture, it's quite unforgiving. It's not like just painting a few trees in a field. That's really not difficult to do as a drawing, but this kind of thing, very, very difficult. And I think a little I regret I regret doing this painting because if you don't get it absolutely right, it doesn't look that great. It was a beautiful scene, but maybe a bit too difficult to paint, or difficult to turn into a good painting. I'm not so interested nowadays in doing very careful drawings and getting things very accurate. I like that kind of stuff. I like it a lot, but maybe I'm not so good at that nowadays, and I find it just tedious. Yeah. And so for that reason, I think I prefer now drawing more natural subjects. Or if it is a city scene, something not so natural, then I like it more if it's very simple, and I do try to make it super simple. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then and we've got this dome. I wanted to show more of that dome. I might erase. Yep. Because I really like the dome shape on this building. I think it looks very nice, and it's a feature you don't actually see a lot. So it makes it very interesting. Okay, now let's do the lights. So with the lights, we've got this extreme perspective. So the lights go down, they get smaller in size. And they get kind of closer together. At least it looks like that. And so have to be careful to try and get that spacing right. And if you do get it right, then it creates a lovely feeling of perspective. So I think that's it done. I'm fairly happy with that. And then over here, over here we've got some shrubbery. We've got, I won't really be showing this, but it could be useful. I'll be giving hints, suggestions of these features here. We've got some kind of tree here, and another one here. And then I'm going to make that smaller because we've got to have this variety. Okay, now we can begin painting. So first of all, you need a big brush that holds a lot of water. In fact, yeah, maybe this one will do. And we're using yellow ochre. Now where are we going to have our sun? Maybe about here? Yeah. So I begin a little distance out, and then I slowly move in to where I'm going to have the sun. And then I slowly thicken up. So maybe I should use a big flat brush for this because it's taking a long time. And we want to do this fairly quickly so that the paint doesn't dry out on us. Okay, and now I'm going to do a little bit of a thick mix of yellow ochre and around here, just to add a little bit of a suggestion of clouds, something like that. Makes it a bit more interesting. And then the next thing is alizarin crimson, pure alizarin crimson. So make a space. Here we go. Like that. Wow. And then blend that in. Maybe I waited a bit too long. Has it dried out? Maybe. Oh, I think it's fairly okay. And I love you can see the brush strokes a little bit, and I love that. I think that looks really nice. And then at the bottom, maybe redden it off a little bit. Don't really have to, but I just like to do that. And then blend it in. Okay, let's leave that to dry. Now I'm going to paint the background. So it's quite a big space. So first of all, I'm going to use this brush, this flat brush, because it can quickly cover a wide area. So I'll have a touch of yellow ochre. I'm going to make a grey, then some red. So it's best to use the lightest colour first so you don't make it dirty. And then blue last of all. But if it gets dirty, don't worry about it. Yellow ochre, you just have to clean it. Okay, I need more paint. Okay, it's a purpley grey, that's fine. So here we go. So as you can see, this covers a lot of space very quickly. So you don't want this drying out. Okay. And now I'm ready to switch to this brush. And keep this wet. And work quickly. Now I'm not doing full detail for the trees because I want to play around with the colour on them a little bit later on. So it's drying out. So I'm going to spray this. Okay, and then I'm going to go for blue. Okay. And I'm going for blue because this is in the distance. Okay. You really need to do this quickly if you can. Okay, this is not quite right, but there we go. Okay, let's spray that. It's really drying out super quick. Okay, so here we're going to do a blue, so cerulean blue. And There we go. Like that. And then going to do yellow ochre and a touch of red. Do that. And then here it dried out. So you really have to do this quickly. So these trees are catching the sunlight. Hopefully I can save this, blend it in. Okay, not too bad. And this tree here, I hope to get lots of little bits. Okay, and then here we've got some green foliage, right? So I'm going to use this yellow. Wow, it's a bit difficult, it's a bit hard. And then a touch of blue. Come on, blue. More of this. And even more. Okay. And then do some dark bits in here. Ooh. That doesn't matter too much because this will be dark. This tram. Okay, I'm fairly happy with that. It didn't go as smoothly as I hoped, but I think it's fairly okay. And then get some blue, get a touch of red, get a touch of yellow ochre, a bit more blue. Okay, whoops. And here we go. And this one. and this light, and then finally some wires. Whoops. Okay, here we go. Where are my wires? Yep, here's one. Okay, there we go. There's 1, 2, 3, and wires coming up. Okay. Okay, and then not so happy with that, but there you go. But overall, quite good. So let's leave it to dry. Okay, yeah. So now this has dried, and I'm going to do the tram, the platforms and the car and the shadows. So this is a very big stage. So we need this grey mix still, and we need a lot actually. So I will make that now. So get some blue and some red. I've got a spider on my desk, just a small one. Okay. There's a lot of spiders at the moment in the house, just small ones. Okay, I'm getting there. And yellow ochre. Okay, so let's do this first, I think. And get this rigger brush and do these lines. We've got a lot of lines. I've got that bit too. So I think the best way to do these lines is just to do it in one go, as confidently as possible. I think if you do it slowly, you've got more chance of messing it up. That's what I think nowadays, but I might change my mind. Okay, here we go. At some point in the future. So this is where we've got these amazing lines. Ooh. So here we go. Okay. So maybe that's there. Oh, I went a bit wrong with these. So, what you can do, a bit drastic, let's erase them. I'm not sure if I'll get away with this. But it's good to do something a bit different. I kind of like it when it goes wrong. So let's try and get these lines right. I'll come back in a minute when it's fully dried. And then here, yep, my angles were wrong. That was the problem. And I can start to paint in all of this, apart from here, because here we've also got some light. Well, I've struggled with this one, but at least I've challenged myself. And okay, let's do this now. Have another go. And yeah. Okay, and here. Okay, and then mix up a load of paint. And I have to try and do this fairly quickly because I've really faffed around, I suppose you could say. And I've allowed it to dry too much. and maybe that's not too bad. But it is difficult. This lesson is difficult, so if you struggle with this one, please don't be very hard on yourself, because it really is. This one is a real masterclass watercolor lesson. Maybe masterclass sounds a bit pompous, but it's a high level in my opinion, and difficult to pull off. And that looks wrong, doesn't it? I shouldn't have done that there. Okay. But I like something about this scene a lot. I just think it's a really beautiful scene. And although I haven't mastered it yet, at some point I will, I think, I hope. Oh yeah, and I think this has worked fairly well. I can feel something really powerful happening here visually. Visually there's something really exciting happening here. And then there's a fun thing we can do now, which is get your brush, and we're going to go down like this and then have another go. And I'm really hoping to shift this paint and soften this edge. Wow. And then the heavy artillery, which is the tissue. You just have to be careful though. You can only You can only use the tissue once or twice, and then it's dirty. And so you have to use another bit of it or a clean tissue, otherwise you'll get this light area dirty. And because I'm running out of time, I'm just going to use tissue. And the same down here. And I'm going to tidy up this bit. Yeah. And there we go. I might spray it. And just have a think. Yep. And this one too. And also this one. Okay, I say okay, but I'm still continuing, not finished yet. Not too bad. And then get this and a touch of red, touch of yellow ochre, and maybe like that. Okay, and maybe that's pretty good. There's a few more things. So there's this thing. Oh yeah. And now just add a few little darks here, some details, and let's just leave that to dry. It has now dried, and I'm going to do the windows or the glass areas. So I'm going to use my pointed oval and just wet this. Then a touch of this colour, which is yellow ochre and alizarin crimson, and I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to do here too, and also here. And I'm going to do here and here, here, and a bit there. So I didn't cover all of it. And then I'm just going to let that dry now. Now I'm going to add some details such as figures and posts, and basically figures and objects that we can see inside the tram and the car, and basic reflections, things like that. So I've got this purple mix which I'm going to use, and then I'll use this rigger brush, and we're off. Something like that. Then make it watery, like that. And then here, figure. And then here, I don't know why, but the jungle crows are going a bit wild outside. They can be really noisy. And there's some kind of curb pavement here, like that. And you just have to suggest with these objects. You don't have to get too involved. I think I did this wrong. Should be like that, and that's a bit off, but good enough. And then a figure here. With a briefcase. And then a curb here. And there's a light here. Okay, and then here we've got various. I'm just suggesting some kind of shadows in here. It really is just guesswork. But it looks right. So that's done. So next thing is over here we've got something like leaves and some posts. So let's do them. So I'm mixing up a dark colour using blue and red and yellow ochre. So hopefully that will do. And I don't want to do too much. Maybe that's enough. So I use this brush to basically just get the bulky stuff down, and then this brush to do more fine shapes, hopefully. Okay, maybe that's not too bad. I'm getting this sheen, so it's difficult for me to see what it looks like properly. Okay, next thing is up here. I'm going to have those posts, perhaps. I mean, it might be better if I didn't do them, to be honest, but let's have a go. That is actually maybe enough. So that line went a bit wrong. I should perhaps have done a thicker mix, it might have been easier. And okay, I'm doing it this way because it's probably easier. Yep, my arm movement works better this direction. Going from left to right. Okay, and then here we've got these round things. So that's one. You have to be careful, because if you make a mistake and go too far out, then you start to make this bigger and bigger, this round object, and you don't want to do that. So it's not perfect, but it's good enough. And oh yeah, we've got a big sign. Okay, and just do this, blend it in. Oh, that looks good. And then here, I want to do this brown here. So get some yellow. Get some red, bit more yellow, and then here we go. Wash that out. Pure yellow ochre. And that's it. So now on the road, I'd like to do a little bit of dry brush. So it'd help if I had some scrap paper around, but I don't. Oh yes, I do, just a minute. So it helps to have some scrap paper, and we just practice. So you need to get your lines, the direction of your lines correct. and I think that's enough. And oh, I forgot. So up here we've got this thing. There we go. And I think that is maybe everything. So in the next bit, we're going to use some white paint and do some highlights. So let's leave that to dry. Now it has dried and it's time to do highlights. So I'm going to use some Chinese white. I've already got some in my palette. And first I'm going to use pure white. Pure white. And then I think here. And then here. And then there's a light here on top of the tram, and then maybe a few touches on these people. And what else? Yeah, we've got the wires. So from here, they're going to go up like that. And there's the other one. So quite difficult to get this right. You might struggle with this one, to be honest. It's really is advanced level, so please remember that. And maybe here. And this car. I think that car's going away from us. Okay. So now I think it's a mix of yellow ochre, a touch of red. Ooh, looks a bit dirty. So red and yellow ochre and white. And here we go. And also a bit more yellow ochre. And here with these leaves, a few are catching the light. And the important thing is to do just a few. But it's very easy to go over the top. Okay, that's looking quite good. And then white again, and lines on the road. So and here. Gives a dynamic touch to the painting that really helps, I think. And yeah, I need to do something over here with this. This is fudging. It's something I do a lot, but at least I'm honest about it. I'm fudging. So, and to be honest, it's a lot of fun and necessary, to be honest, often. You could call it correcting as well, yeah. And then, yeah, I think the painting's really coming together. And over here, this is fun. Get some white like this. This is where we can let our hair down. Maybe not me, because I haven't got much hair to let down. But we can roam free here a bit. Hopefully. This is quite, how can I put it, like a bit of a playing around, bit like chaotic thing we're doing here. But of course, if you're not in the right mood or whatever, you can end up being rigid, and which I feel like I am being. And it's not quite what you want. So this is just, what I'm trying to create here is just a kind of feeling of dust, haze. I think that's working. Okay, I think that's enough with that. Then I could darken around here. Probably shouldn't, because it will maybe look too hard. But I can blend it in a bit with my finger. But I think we need to suggest the underside of the tram. So I'm trying to do this fairly quickly, so then I can hopefully start to Just blend this in a bit, yeah, so it's not so hard. But still we can see that darkness there. Okay, and maybe there should be a few more touches around there. So I'm just using mostly 3 colours, red, yellow, blue, getting a darkish purple, almost black colour. Okay, I think that's that done. Maybe there should be a bit of a reflection now of this figure. Maybe. Also, his legs don't look very good. And it doesn't have to be much actually. Probably doing nothing would be better, but there we go. And just blending it in again. I'm not sure, maybe there's something here with this figure. There's some kind of reflection a bit. Reflection, no, shadow. Shadow from this figure. Yeah. Oh, and we need red here. So I'm just going to use this red, which is, I'm not sure if it's Pyro red. I think I found that to be quite a good red. And shall I just feel like that needs a little bit of smudging. Smudging and fudging. And let's just try and enjoy the whole process. Yep, so this car's going away from us, and there we go, something like that. And now I'm looking around, is there anything more that I really need to do? I don't think so. Or I can't see anything more that I need to do. I might just do this one more time, strengthen it. Actually, I might do a few white touches. I'm trying to get this to be thick. So, didn't put my hand in anything too wet. Don't know if that was a good idea or not. Maybe later I'll be able to like make an opinion about that. Okay, I think that's it. I'm just looking at the overall picture. That's a bit of a shame. I could try and erase that and do it again. Could be a bad idea, but sometimes trying to correct these things at the right time, once they've dried, it can also help to improve your skills. So instead of wiping that up, I think maybe I'll just blend it in because it will look better, I think. It won't look quite so obtrusive. That's not quite coming, is it? The thing is, you don't have to remove all of it, just enough. So that when you do a new line over there, the new line is very strong and the faint line, just, you don't see it. Okay, I think that's okay. having a bit of a purple there. So I'm waiting for that to dry. Should I do this? This could be a bad idea. This is to speed up the process, but really I should wait and let it dry naturally, but because I'm doing the video and I want to get it all done in one go, I'm going to do this. You can't really see anything, so it's pretty okay. I'm liking this area. I like this area. I think that's actually looking good. Okay, not dry yet. I could try softening this, but yeah, shall we do that? Okay, just for fun. This could really be a bad idea, but I think experimenting is very important. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm so keen on that, but it has made it fainter and therefore look like it's more distant. So yeah, interesting. And I think I'm ready for this now. I've given it enough time, maybe. And here we go. Now, of course, I might get this wrong again, but hopefully not. No, I won't get it wrong again. I'll get it right. Okay. Okay. Get it at an angle that's comfortable. Shoom. Okay, not great, that little bit, but passable. Okay, good enough. I think better than before. So we probably still have a faint mark underneath, but you can see how this darker mark just almost deletes it, because we just don't see the fainter mark because this one is so strong. And I think that's it. Final thing is to sign. So try and get this brush really sharp. It's not that sharp actually. And not too in the corner, because if it's too in the corner, then it might be hidden by the frame. G, N. There we go. It's not so noticeable, but it's there. And that's it, I think. Okay, so review time. Overall, I think I'm happy with this painting. I think it captures that beautiful evening glow which I saw. So overall, I'm happy with it. Let's look at the individual parts. So the sky is really great. And even this bit, that's okay, not a big problem, where it's a little purple. I really like the colour of the sky. It's just glowing, and down here is also good. Okay, so this far side of the street, I also like this. I think this is really well done. It's got a lot of variety in it. I know it started off as just purple, but look at the blues we've added. Look at the orange we've added, and this green splotchiness here. This touch of white I think is interesting and works well. And even this fading here was good. So happy about that. Now this bit and the cars, I don't think I've drawn them or portrayed them so well but I think good enough. So good enough, I think. Maybe I should darken. So sometimes when I do my review, well, every time actually, I actually come back and do a little bit more painting, and that's fine. In fact, that's good. If you can spot mistakes and then there and then correct them. I think that looks better being like that. Yeah, I think that's much better. So, slightly disappointed with the way I've done them, but still I think acceptable and pretty good. So with the road, I think I'm quite happy with the road. I really do like these reflections of light or whatever. I think they look really good, and that's why I wanted to paint this picture. Maybe it's a little bit unnatural, but I'm still very happy with it. So yeah, okay with that. With this, I really like the leaves, but this is perhaps, it's good enough, I think, but maybe without it even better, because maybe it's a bit too difficult to paint well, at least for me. I still think it works well enough, but maybe with just the leaves it would look even better. So there you go. So please have a go, and remember, keep it fun and experiment, try things out, but always just enjoy it. So that's all for now. I'm probably going to be back. No, I will be back in a month's time with another watercolor lesson. Happy painting, and bye for now.